It's the curse, you know? You get it's way past dinner time, right? Dinner has come and gone, and now we're into the evening. Whoa! Thank you for the follow, Kiki. Oh my god. Do white chocolate with chocolate chips. Thank you so much for hanging out, Kiki, and thank you for the follow. I hope we at least satisfied some clickbait curiosity here with cheddar cookies. Sleep well, and I hope to see you again. Put this away. All right, we got to taste one of these because these have vanilla and these don't. Also, baked at a different temperature. So, you know, like any good scientist, we've changed multiple variables. Want to keep that plate clean for a picture. All right, this is cookie baked at slightly lower temperature, but with vanilla. Vanilla-ified. I have another bite. Hang on. They kind of just taste like regular chocolate chip cookies with the vanilla. Ha! Ha! Thanks for the sub, guy doing guy things. I appreciate it. How you doing? 7 months. Hot damn. I really appreciate it, dude. Supporting our abominational work, you know. Why are we curbing 7 months of support here? You know? What are we doing? Don't curb that. He's being supportive. Curb is when it's like, you know, not going well and ironic. Not for sincere thanks. Yeah, I think I wouldn't do vanilla. They're like kind of funkier than a regular chocolate chip, but it definitely like the cheese starts to go away. Like it's still there if I really you know, look for it. But we haven't yeah, it needs less sugar. The whole thing needs a little less sugar. And maybe more cheese. I don't want a melted cheese like texture though. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to order some cheese powder. We're gonna have to order some cheese powder.
We are not fucking around with the butter
Oh my god.
today.
What's up, Saren? How are you? We're violating some laws of hope it wasn't too bad. We're making a very I will do my best, Apex. Well, the mic still working? That was Saren's walk on. There's a clip of Saren from her channel where she says they're not fucking around with the butter, and I've made that her walk on sound so that it haunts her forever. But we made some cheddar and chocolate chip cookies. So let's do a little zoomy zoom. This is the mess that we've made. So I had a lot of cheddar left over from the souffle from our Kitchen Gladiators / Labyrinth challenge, and I didn't want it to go to waste. And I also thought my souffle could have used more cheese flavor. So I thought, why not try it in a cookie and see what happens? So we took my normal chocolate chip cookie recipe, which the one I use is the Bon Appetit brown butter and toffee chocolate chip cookies. And this time I didn't brown the butter because I didn't want to overpower the cheese. And then we subbed half of the butter for cheese, like just straight cheddar. So I did 113 grams of butter and 113 grams of cheddar instead of like 226 grams of butter. Creamed it. I used less sugar, so I was out of brown sugar. So we had to use some molasses to like approximate brown sugar. So I did, instead of doing 215 grams of brown sugar and 73 grams of granulated sugar like my normal one did, I just did 200 grams of granulated and 20 grams of molasses, which comes out to like sort of like really light brown sugar. So lower the amount of sugar, increase the amount of salt, and we did some A/B tests with vanilla. So like these on the tray have vanilla. This one doesn't have vanilla. The vanilla makes them, it kind of hides the cheddar and you end up with just chocolate chip, but like a little funkier. So they could be cheesier. There's still further cheese to be improved upon. They were a little looser, so like you can see like the center of this one caved in a little bit. And like, but it was already like getting super brown and crispy along the outside. So the second bake, we lowered the temperature of the oven 25 degrees because this was 350 plus convection and this was 325 plus convection. So it got a little better bake in the center while still getting the crisp around the side, just not like destroying it. But alas, it is still not cheesy enough. It is there. The cheese is there, and when they were in the when they came out of the oven, it really smelled like Cheez-Its. Would I consider a funkier cheese? See, I'm not sure I want to change the cheese type because I really want like it to kind of scream Cheez-It, you know? Thanks for hanging out, Shotgun. Hope to see you soon. Take care. I really want like the bite into it to be like, oh, this is Cheez-It. But I don't think I need processed Cheez-Its because Cheez-Its are literally just like cheddar, flour, and like a little bit of paprika. They are like, I think they have butter in them. They're like 3 ingredients. So I don't think I need to go so far as like taking a Cheez-It and then like exploding it. I think I know I can achieve it. And when I did the twirls for the souffle, yeah, they're like, there's like nothing to a Cheez-It. Yeah, maybe they need a little paprika. I didn't add any paprika. We could do another batch with paprika. There's still some dough left. We can shake a little in there. And we add the marijuana butter. I'm not a partaker, but I know plenty of people who are. Time to use pineapple cake. You can add the processed parm to make the shortbread taste more buttery. Interesting. Anyway, the twirl. The first twirl I made, the twirls I made in the oven were a little overbaked. They were a little on like the bitter side, but the twirl I made in the pan, good Lord, it was exactly the flavor I wanted. So maybe instead of doing half butter and half cheddar, we go like 3/4 cheddar. You know, like half a stick of butter, and maybe it'll still turn into a cookie. How much butter does one really need in a cookie anyway? So there's still some lingering questions to be answered here. Damn it, camera, you bastard! I mean, I know there's vanilla in here, but let's shake in some paprika and see what happens. Paprika. Oh, there you are. All right. Let's take a little paprika and just like, I don't know, shake some in. Is that too much? Is that too little? I don't know. Did that change the taste any? A little. Got a weird warmth to it now. We're committing kitchen crimes. Listen, we're writing it down, so technically we're doing kitchen science. Truffle oil? Yeah, should we make like truffle cookies? I feel like you could sell those, you know, somewhere bougie. You're like, oh yeah, these are truffle cookies. Actuate. Thank you. Wow. That's concerning. I've never seen it overheat that fast. It came out, I was like, no, I don't want to. And it quit. I hope it hasn't hit the end of its life. It's not allowed to die. I paid too much for it. A split white and black truffle vanilla cookie? Ooh. Ooh. I have a mixed relationship with them. On one hand, at the actual, like, image part of the job, they do really well. Right? The continuous autofocus is, like, out of this world. You know, it's really fast autofocus, which is great for me who moves around and, you know, I don't have to worry about camera focus all that much. But man, what's up, 402? It does, yes, that's exactly what it says. But the software side of things, they really don't do very well. They won't stay connected to my Wi-Fi, so I can't remote control them. The touch screen interface to edit the settings is infuriating. So, let's catch 402 Fails Up, who I met in New York, fellow New York streamer. Oh, I got HDMI out. I'm going HDMI out into the Camlink Pro PCIe card from Elgato. So, like, I'm only using, well, I have 3 of them occupied. Well, 402 does IRL streams, so hard to do IRL without at least acknowledging the state that you're in. Also, my description says I'm in New York. So, you know, anyway, here's the story. So, I help run a monthly culinary club, 402, called The Labyrinth, where we are all stuck in a labyrinth with a minotaur who demands a monthly food be delivered to him. And last month was souffle. So I made a chocolate and cheese marbled souffle because when I was in college, I would mix Cheez-Its and chocolate chips together as like a snack, right? So like if I went to study, I'd like make a little bag of Cheez-Its and chocolate chips, and that's what I would like munch on while I was studying. I think that Cheez-Its and chocolate chips go great together. So cheddar and chocolate chips also should go pretty good together. So I made the chocolate and cheese souffle. It was good. It turned out great. Pictures on Instagram worked out pretty nice. But cheddar flavor wasn't as strong as I wanted it to be. And then I had a bunch of leftover cheddar from that, and I didn't want it to go bad. And I was like, what if we could achieve the Cheez-It and chocolate chip in cookie form? And so that's what today's been. It's been an experiment to see if we can get Cheez-It as like a cookie base flavor, and then also chocolate chips. It's a bit wild, yes. And this is what we got so far. I mean, if you got some Cheez-Its next time, and if you have a few chocolate chips, you know, just like pop a Cheez-It and a chocolate chip in your mouth at the same time. You know, you don't have to make a whole bowl if you're not if you don't like it. Everyone should try it. You know, I don't. So Cheez-Its don't have many ingredients. They're just like cheddar flour and a little bit of paprika and maybe butter. I can't remember. Oh, and salt. So, in theory, I shouldn't need anything else savory, is my thought. But anyway, maybe it does need like some herbs or something if I want to be like extra fancy. But I'm trying to get like, yeah, but Cheez-Its, you can see the little crystals of salt on the surface, which we've mirrored here with our little crystals of salt on the surface. At any rate, this is half of our butter substituted for cheese and reduced sugar. I think we need to reduce the sugar even more and possibly instead of half, do like 3/4 of our butter for cheddar. But as a first attempt, I mean, it came out as a cookie, so can't complain too much. So these, which need the salt for the top now, we've added paprika, because I forgot to put the paprika in. I meant to do it for these, but I didn't. Lower the oil. Well, technically by subbing cheese for butter, we are lowering our amount of fat / oil. If I get a recipe I'm happy with, I will make some for you. These I don't think are worth writing home about yet. Yeah, so normally my normal chocolate chip recipe has 226 grams, aka 2 sticks of butter. So for this one, we put in 113 grams of butter, or 1 stick, and 113 grams of cheddar. So normal American butter is around 80%, 78, 80% butter. I believe Land O'Lakes is 80%. And cheddar is around 38% fat. So by subbing in the cheddar for butter, we've lowered our fat content. Anywho, let's put these in and see what happens with the paprika. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I believe is what we settled on. So, I was afraid that by losing that fat, we wouldn't end up with like a cookie texture. but they're pretty cookie textured, so I feel like we could push it further to keep the cheddar flavor going. And I also feel like maybe I should start with a base recipe that's like thinner. Because these are like, you know, mid, like standard chocolate chip cookie. Like when you think chocolate chip cookie, that's like the default, right? And then there's like Levain style, which is like much more mounded, right? And it's a little, you know, it's like a cookie, it's like cookie ball, right? And then there are like much thinner, like wafery chocolate chip cookies. And I feel like maybe a thinner wafery style cookie might get that like crispy sugar, or like crispy cheddary kind of thing going on instead of like the chewy. Is it oil? I forget. A while ago, I watched a video that was talking about like achieving the different consistencies for cookies, and I forget what they landed on. What's going on in there? Yeah, there is like, I did debate doing like a shortbread style thing. Like, there's a chance that chocolate chip like isn't the right origin dough to like modify. Because for a while there was a what's the name of it? I think it's called a, a sabli. Like it's a shortbread. You make like a shortbread cylinder. Yeah, sable. And then you coat the cylinder in sugar, and then you slice it into like little discs. And for a while there was a chocolate chip sable sabli whatever going viral. So maybe that's a better base dough than a chocolate chip cookie. Oh, like an icebox cookie, Saren. That is also a good idea. The chocolate overpowered the Cheez-It. Try it with two Cheez-Its, like a Cheez-It sandwich. I also, like, I didn't buy the best chocolate chips when I was in college, so I didn't have dark chocolate chips. I probably just had like the Nestle milk chocolate. Which I don't want to go back to milk chocolate. I'd much rather keep the dark, but maybe it's a case where like milk chocolate is better against the cheese. There's a lot of variables here. Yeah. I'm just saying when I was in college, I like was like, what's the difference? And bought just like regular chocolate chips. Sabli? I feel like it is Sabli. These cameras, they're constantly exploding. Though someone suggested that I buy some wrap because I don't have a radiator in my apartment. I just have a pipe that gets hot like steam goes through the pipe and that's what heats up the place. They mentioned you can get like a wrap for them, and that prevents it from radiating heat the full length of the pipe. So you can sort of like adjust how much heat that the pipe puts out by like wrapping parts of it so that only part of the pipe is exposed. Yeah, I don't have a radiator in this apartment. I just have a heat pipe. Real real kind of crappy situation. Let me adjust the lights. Oh no. Well, now we have glare in the oven camera, but we'll survive. Yeah, I need to get some wrap because it is like 82 or 3 degrees in here, which is too warm. And all my poor cameras are paying the price. But at any rate, some interesting experiments. I feel like I want to try the shortbread next. And not forget the paprika. I am curious how these will turn out with some paprika in them. I suspect that because these have vanilla in them, that they're still going to be a little like overpowered by the vanilla, but there's cheese powder, which I believe is like dehydrated cheese. And I did see a lot of recipes that were attempting similar things use cheese powder. So that might be the move going forward. The cheese. But I wanted to get rid of my cheddar. I had a big block of cheddar. I still have another block of cheddar in there, and I don't want the cheddar to go bad. So this was, can I use regular cheese? Like I saw a Cheez-It mooncake recipe, which used a bunch of cheese powder. But man, they looked like Cheez-Its. It was exactly the color of Cheez-Its. So in the Claire Saffit's Cheetos video, she dehydrates the cheese in a dehydrator and then grinds it into a powder, which is a possibility. I'm not sure how I could dehydrate the cheese. I might be able to bake it into like a giant tuile and then grind that. Expired Parmesan? Oh no. I don't have a food dehydrator. Though maybe the Innova can dehydrate? I don't know, I've never checked. I know that the Innova 2.0 dehydrates, but I think that's because it has a dry air intake. I'm not sure the Innova 1.0 can dehydrate. Either way, so many things to explore. Do they need another minute or are they ready to come out? I think they're ready. Ah. I think we can get away with more cheese for butter sub. What's up, Dose? Yeah, we're doing some experimental stuff. We're in flavor experiment land. So we did the chocolate and cheese souffle, and so I think that Cheez-Its and chocolate chips make a good. Sorry, I'm laughing at the quote. I think Cheez-Its and chocolate chips make a good snack together, and I'm trying to capture that in cookie form. And so we subbed some of the butter for cheddar because I'm trying to get that like Cheez-It flavor. Cheez-Its have that very particular Cheez-It flavor, which is cheddar based. There's not much, if you look at the ingredients on a Cheez-It, right? Like it's like cheddar, flour, paprika, like salt. There's not a lot there. So, yeah, it's very simple cracker. And you got to appreciate that, like, it doesn't look like they have a ton of like preservatives or anything in there. They're just like, now we just put cheese. Our secret is cheddar. So I'm trying to capture that in cookie form. Haven't quite nailed it. Yeah, they're a little off color, right? They're not quite the Cheez-It yellow. But there's a lot of other cookie ingredients, you know. So our first batch, that's what these are. First batch was just cheese for the butter sub, less sugar, a little more salt. Our second set of them was the same thing but added vanilla just to see how that would go. It didn't, it made it harder to taste the cheese. Didn't really need the vanilla. Sounds like a food crime. I'm not sure I want garlic with chocolate. And then this is still the vanilla because I had mixed it into the dough, but we added paprika because Cheez-Its have paprika in them. And I thought maybe the missing paprika was causing problems. So, waiting for these to cool down just a smidge so that we can taste them. Overall, not a complete failure. But not a complete success. A mole cheese cookie. I don't know. Maybe? I can't picture what mole tastes like. For some reason. Someone want to remind me what mole is like? It's savory sauce that can be made with chocolate. Chili powder. I'm gonna have to Google it. All right, this is one of the paprikas. The paprika is closer. It's still like it doesn't need the vanilla, but the paprika is better. It's closer on the Cheez-It spectrum. Important missing flavor there. It's I wish I would have made one with paprika without vanilla. That's my only disappointment. Can I snooze this? Did I make it? We'll find out. I did. An ancho. Oh! Rick is the guy who made the base cookie that I use for my chocolate chip. So I trust Rick's cookie thoughts. Okay, that is a wild looking cookie. We're gonna have to bookmark that. That's going straight on the list of things to try. Thankfully, I got the snooze in and we'll be able to test whether or not my castmate changes worked. Doesn't need the vanilla. Needs more cheese. More cheese. More cheese. My poor mic is on its last legs. Who knows when it'll give out. But I think that concludes our cookie experiments for the evening. I'm at least glad we did the experiment with the vanilla and without the vanilla, because to just like know for sure, right? Like on the chocolate chip spectrum, how far to push it. So definitely don't regret doing the vanilla as a test. I suppose we should take a picture of this. I don't know. Would you call this an abomination? Huh. It's an open source program called Mealy, Mealie. I host it on my Unraid NAS. It's just on like the NAS, on like the Unraid app thing, so you can kind of like one click install it. Go a bright orange. Cheese it colored napkin. It does a lot of things well. Could be improved. I also haven't updated in a couple versions, so I gotta download the updates, see what they've changed. Anywho, we got our pictures in the Discord. I'm going over to the desk. I'm gonna sit down. That's what I'm doing. Put the cans on. Switch microphones. Ah! Oh no, the camera's in shot. The microphone. Get out of here, microphone. It's all right. We'll survive. It's a fun mixer. Definitely a little overkill for my needs. I might not technically need all of its stuff, but I do enjoy it. Because I have the Rode mics, they connect directly to it, which is cool. Weirdly, I have a Rode shotgun as well, and it didn't come with a profile for the Rode shotgun. And I was like, what? Why are you missing a profile? Yeah, it's really nice. And the Bluetooth headphones also, like my that I wear for there, also connect directly to it, which is nice because the Windows Bluetooth driver is terrible. Actually, this mic makes it a little hot. A little hot. Still hot. Back it up. What are you doing? There it is. There we go. In the yellow. Actually, it might be a little low now. My audio's a mess. I bought the most expensive audio equipment, and then I was like, do I want to spoil what I'm working on? Okay, I'll spoil it. I will spoil what I'm working on. All right, so for our culinary group, the Kitchen Gladiators, also called the Labyrinth, we have a monthly um, cooking objective, which is set about by a hypothetical minotaur, right? The minotaur demands that you make the dish for him every month. And what I want to do is live animate a minotaur. And part of that is actually with the road. Let me hit this button so I can hear.
I can turn on a deep voice so I can be the Minotaur.
But I also want to animate the Minotaur. So I want to do face tracking and put that on a Minotaur. Almost like a VTuber situation, but for this one specific thing, right? So my thought was, oh, use the NVIDIA Maxine Broadcast SDK, which has, a super fast, low latency face tracker in it that gives you slider numbers for I think it's 52 Apple ARKit facial blend shapes. So as long as you have a 3D model that uses those ARKit blend shapes, you can just run the NVIDIA Maxine FaceTrack SDK, pull out the 52 values, plug them into the blend shapes, and then the face of the creature should match your face relatively, right? And then you can do a little, it tracks relative position in 3D space and stuff like that. So you can do a little hey, dress it up, and then you have a puppetable Minotaur with your face, right? So then I can deliver the.
I can demand that you make a souffle.
Which would be fun. But the best I have right now, because Godot supports blend shapes. Loads in Blender models, right? So it can get me to the 3D model. I can plug in the blend shape values. I can adjust all the lighting, drop in some 3D models, set dressing, do all the IK stuff. It just doesn't have support for webcams on Windows, which is wild. So my plan was to rip there's a Unity Maxine AR SDK binding for Unity that's open source. So my plan was just lift and shift that C# code into the Godot project. It does all the native calls, out to the DLL, and then just feed in the texture for the webcam. But the webcam doesn't work on Windows. It works on Mac and iOS and Android, but in Linux, but not Windows. And there's a big comment in the camera C++ file where the guy is apologizing because he discovered part of Direct Show, which is the Windows library for accessing media devices like webcams, had been deprecated, and so he didn't check in what he was working on because it was deprecated. And I don't know. Part of me thinks they should have just checked in the deprecated Direct Show code, because that Direct Show is going to run for the next 2 decades. Yeah, I'm on Windows. There's no way they're going to make that Direct Show stop working. So much relies on that SDK. I get not wanting to build new code that's running on a deprecated library, but Windows is going to support that one for a while. So I don't have any webcam support, so I'm going to probably just switch over and do it in Unity. even though like I don't want to support Unity because they have that whole like licensing debacle, and they've like switched CEOs, and it's like a huge. Just Unity is a sketchy company, and I don't want to do it in Unreal. I use Unreal for work, and I just like would rather not. I would rather not. But I do have.
I can speak this way. The really shitty face track. Ah!
So, we'll get there. But I thought it would be a fun part of the theatrics to puppet the Minotaur, build a digital puppet. I also thought about I saw there's an Adam Savage tour of the Henson Studios. Yeah, I don't own an iPhone either, so. Isn't there a lot of latency with those tracking? Like, the. Do you want to do the Minotaur voice then? We need the face track to match the audio. At any rate, I found a lot of it'd be something. Yeah, there's a paid. I think there's one on Steam that does a pretty good job. I don't know. I don't have a woman's voice that I could put through it. I know there's one on Steam that sort of does it, but I noticed a lot of them had like Warudo? I don't think I've heard of this one. That had like super high latency because they were using why can't I remember the name? Media something. The Google one from like a decade ago. And a lot of them seem like tuned for like anime stuff, and I don't want an anime. I want like a photoreal one. I don't know. Unless Sarah media pipe, that's the friggin' word I was looking for. Unless Saren really wants an anime Minotaur. I was trying to go for the photoreal one, but Food Wars or Delicious Dungeon, I suppose. I'm not the biggest anime guy. Like, I just don't consume a lot of it. So, I also find the emote one, like this one. I know he's got like the evil anime eyes. I do like this guy. He's fun. Ah! Anime shark jump the shark in the 2000s. I just don't think it's media made for me. I don't enjoy a lot of the tropes of anime. I Cowboy Bebop was good. I did enjoy it. I liked everything about Cowboy Bebop except the main villain, Vicious. He didn't feel like he belonged in the show. He just he felt so out of place. It was so confusing. I don't know. I just think it's not made for me. You know, people love it, and that's fine. I think I think the overuse of internal monologues and like over explaining in a lot of animes like really annoys me. You don't you don't have to give me someone's internal monologue or, like freeze time in the middle of a fight to be like, "Oh, I can't believe he moves so fast." I can see he's moving fast. You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell. You just show me that he's moving fast. And I know that's like not all animes, right? But it's like pervasive in the art form. And I think, I mean, I don't want to speculate because I don't like I don't like intake enough to like make educated things, but I feel like it maybe comes from the fact that like the comics like sort of have to show internal monologues because it's a different medium, right? Like it's harder to show speed and like that in like the comics to like, because the amount of time in between panels in a comic is not the same as like a an animation, right? Where like you can control the flow of time versus like you can't control how how much time passes in between cells in a comic. The perception of it, you can do things to like guide it, right? But it's easier to just have the person be like, "Holy shit, he was fast!" Like, versus like in an animated one, you can just animate him fast. Like, I'll get it. You don't have to. You don't have to interrupt the action to tell me that he was fast. So I don't know. I'm also just a grumpy old man, so people love it. People love the thing, so go enjoy it. It's no skin off my back. Shall we find someone to raid? Wasn't the Cowboy Bebop guy coming out with a new show soon? I think it's also sci-fi, so you might like that one. And I also, okay. So I haven't watched. Oh wait, why can't I think of the name of it? It's the one with the grapple hooks and the giants. My brain is broken right now. Um, Attack on Titan. That's the. I was like, it's Attack something. I haven't watched Attack on Titan, but people love Attack on Titan, right? And the final season came out a couple years ago, right? And I think there was a pretty big gap in between seasons of like Attack on Titan, right? And there was a teaser that came out for the final season of Attack on Titan, and my friend sent it to me because he was excited that Attack on Titan was coming out. And I swear that like the whole teaser is just like one of the characters standing there looking off and having like an internal monologue to himself. I'm like, that. He's like, it's been so long and so I forget what the words are, but he's just like explaining. Like, couldn't you just like? Don't you have footage of that? Can't you show? Can't you just show it to me? Do you have to show me a guy's face while he tells me the thing? I don't know. Show, don't tell. As a story medium, show, don't tell. I'll shut up now. I'm gonna raid before I, piss off anime enjoyers everywhere. Thank you too, Ego. I appreciate you hanging out, suffering through my poor anime opinions, and potentially sacrilegious cookies. Good night, dragon. Who should we raid? Princess Claudes. I feel like we've raided her before. I'm following her. And now I'm stuck in an ad. I think she's making cookies as well. So it could be a good segue into further cookiedom. If I ever get out of this, I don't need State Farm insurance. I don't own a home or a car. Leave me alone. I own nothing to insure. I'm too poor. I live in New York, so I just take the subway or the bus. But I also work from home, so. Oh my god. It's like stuck in a loop. It's showing me the Crunch ad again. What's up, Lordtocs? It already showed me this ad. I've seen this ad 1,000 times with the Crunch Bar and the TSA. I get it. You want me to buy candy. I get it. I'm not going to, but I get it. At least this one's relevant. I shouldn't be so angry about it. Hey, we're back in. Okay. It looks like she's still making her dough, so that's where we will go. Did I type it right? I did. All right, everyone. If you're a castmate person, expect a castmate patch like tomorrow, probably the middle of the day, as I work out the last 2 little bugs. Next Monday is Mario Day, so we will be doing a special Mario themed baking stream. We're gonna make some bob-omb shaped entremets. Good night, Saren. Thank you for hanging out. Hope work wasn't too bad. Following Monday after Mario Day is the 17th, which is St. Patrick's Day, and we will be doing our labyrinth entry. So the whole Minotaur thing, that's what we're going to be feeding the Minotaur on the 17th. Making some Irish brown bread, and hopefully I'll get back to doing some coding streams soon. If I can wrangle all the life things, then we will do that. Oh, what a nice time for the music to end. That was perfect. Thank you. Thematic. I will see you all next time. Take care. 8 seconds. I'm just going to sit here and wave. Goodbye, everyone. Good night. Goodbye.